What's up, people? Welcome to pretty much almost the end of it all. Okay. This is technically this I guess this is gonna be the week 15 lecture. I'm posting this on Friday the 18th, okay, beforehand. Because I got an email from a student who they were saying that they need some help with some specific skills that they still feel like they're having a hard time with. Okay. And so I thought that their request is not much different than what I've seen in a lot of other people's work. So I think that other people would benefit from this as well. Okay. So originally I was just going to send this person an individualized sort of tutoring type video going over their paper. I just figured that I would put it out there for everyone because I think a lot of you would benefit from this. Today's let's see, the what I'm going to be going over today deals with these topics. Okay, if you are look, if you're making A's on your papers, you understand how to do these things, you've mastered them, whatever, then like this lecture isn't really for you. Okay. If you are having still problems with proper MLA formatting, then you should watch. If you are having problems with too much space between your paragraphs, I keep commenting on that on your papers and you're losing points, then you should watch. If you're having problems with correctly citing your sources, I've noticed so many of you on SA2 were incorrectly citing sources because you're making the common mistake of stating the author's name in the sentence and then putting it in the parenthetical citation, which is incorrect. So you should watch this. Citing sources with no authors. I really want to know. I really emphasized only using sources with authors for this exact reason, but people are still using sources with no authors. So I'm going to go over that today. And then people are still having a hard time with the works cited page. And so I'm going to go over that as well. Okay. If you are losing points for any of these things, you should watch this lecture. If you are making A's on your papers and you understand and you know how to do all this stuff, then it's up to you. Okay. All right. So for this, I'm gonna be for this lecture. Let me get rid of this. Whoop over there. Okay. I'm gonna be going over this paper by Sebastian Bach, not the real person's name. Okay. And then I'm also going to be using, which I'm going to post this is a reduced version of the SA2 notes. The SA2 notes are like 40 something pages. And I deleted all the notes that don't apply to the specific ones I'm going over today. And I will repost this document for easy access. I mean, it's still 23 slides, okay? But I'll be referring to this as well. Okay. Put that there. Okay. All right. I'm gonna be doing this time not in MLA. I'm sorry, not in Microsoft Word, but I'm gonna use the online desktop. I'm sorry, the online version because I think that's what a lot of you use. So this is the Word web program that GTC provides to you. So I'm gonna do it this way, okay? Yes. All right. So the first things first is page numbers. Okay. The student they wrote their last name and page number up here, but they did not insert it into the header. And I've emphasized before that you have to insert it into the header because if you don't, then it won't appear on the automatically on the other pages. See, it's not there. It's not there. And then it magically reappears here saying page two. Uh, which is not, that's page 4, okay? But if you insert correctly, then you don't even have to type in the numbers or keep track because it'll do it automatically. So I'm going to demonstrate that again. I'm going to delete this. Pull this all the way up to the top. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go to up here. It says insert. And then I'm going to find page numbers. And then I'm going to click on the top right-hand corner. That's where it goes. Okay. And then I'm going to double click next to it. I ignore that. That's just the code. I'm gonna type in the last name, Bach, space, okay, and click out of it. All right, so Bach 1, because you gotta have the last name and the page number. And then when I go to the next one, look, it's automatically there. I don't have to type it, and it automatically counts the page. If this was a 400-page document, there would be a Bach and then page 401, 402, 403 automatically there. Okay, see, as it goes on, it just keeps going. So that's been inserted. You have to go to insert and then page numbers, and then it does it correctly. All right. Here, this seems to be indented for some reason. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. All right. Now, there's too much space in the notes. Okay. I've gone over the common spacing error. Many students turn in papers with incorrect spacing between the sections of their papers. They have too much space. The space between paragraphs is more than the space between the lines of within the paragraphs. It should be all the same. This space is too much. Over here, look, this is correct amount of space. And all the space, whether it is the heading or in between the heading and the title, or the title and the first paragraph, or the individual lines of the paragraph, or from one paragraph to the next, it's all the same. It's all the same. Okay. So we need to get rid of these extra spaces. So in the notes, I discuss how you have to go to paragraph. Okay, now this is on Microsoft Desktop. I'm going to demonstrate in a moment how to do it on the Microsoft web program. And then when you click on that little box, it takes you to paragraph, and you have to focus on the spacing before, after, and line spacing. This should be 0, 0, double, 0 before, 0 after, and then double. Okay. So if it's blank, it means it wasn't there, that it wasn't set up. So when you type in 0, make sure this says double, 0 before, 0 after, and then double. And then click on OK. Oops. And then it cleans it up. Okay. It goes from looking like this to looking like this. All right. So here, we're going to select all. Okay. I did Control A for select all, or I could click on this with my mouse and pull it all the way down. So that way everything is highlighted. However you want to do it, you just gotta make sure that everything is highlighted. Select all or highlighting. Okay, so then here, go to home. And then we're going to find, move my little thing there, okay. Okay, it should say paragraph. It doesn't say paragraph here, so we're going to click on this little caret. Again, I need to put my picture over here. Okay. All right, that's not it. Let's see. Editing. No, we're there. Okay. Oh, here. These dots. There we go. Okay, paragraph options. Let's see. No, I don't. Oh, if I just click on that. No, that's not it. Let's see. Maybe it's layout. Okay, layout. All right, so that's where we are actually. Okay, so go to layout. Sorry, I don't really use this normally. Okay, and then go to the ellipses. All right, so we're under layout and three dots, paragraph options. Okay, so look, see how this says? This says 12-point font before and 12-point font after, and then double. Well, as I discussed in the notes, all right, it should be 0 before, 0 after, and double. I know this is a different setup, but it's the same boxes. See, spacing before and after, spacing before and after. So this needs to be 0. This needs to be 0, and then line spacing double. Okay. All right. Now there is still too much space. Do you see that? There's still like way, and for some reason it didn't do it. So I want to do it again. All right, look, for whatever reason, the 0 for the 12-point for spacing after didn't do it. So I'm gonna do it again. 0, boom. Some of those things you have to like forcibly keep doing. Look, all right. So something is happening here. These two paragraphs have additional space. So you got to fix it. Even if like you go through the process and you're like, well, I did it. If it's not, if it doesn't look right, then you got to keep figuring out what is wrong. All right. For some reason before is that it empties. So I'm going to do 0 again. Maybe I need to type the PT in. And then I'm going to don't add
very low
space between. Okay, look at that. It did it. I clicked on this paragraph options, and then I don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Yeah, Microsoft, don't do that. So I clicked this box. Here, this is a magic box. This is a magic box, okay? All these programs do weird stuff, okay? They do. Let me show you. Let me go to Google Docs. I mean, I've kind of shown this on Google Docs before, but like Google Docs is weird. It's totally weird. Sometimes with Google Docs, okay. All right, if I type a paragraph, let's just say this right here, whatever. Okay. Let's see. Let's make this double spaced. Okay. All right. Well, it's not. Sometimes it adds additional space also. And which is what's really annoying is I have to go to line and paragraph spacing and add space and then remove the space, add space, and then remove the space for it to not be there. Luckily, it's not doing it right now. So, okay. So the point of what I'm saying is this. If you go through the process and there's still a space in between, you still got to figure out and find out how to fix that. All right. So you have to problem solve, which is what we just did. Okay. And we figured out you got to click this box. Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. So it should be 0, 0, double, and then that box. All right. Okay. So now we have, for the most part, MLA formatting. We don't have any additional spaces between paragraphs. We have the lines are all the same between each of our parts. Okay, we have the inserted last name and page number. Okay, so yeah, all right. So in terms of my objectives for today, we should change this drop-out box to okay. I can't click it though. All right, imagine that there's a check right there. Here, I'll highlight. Boom, done. Too much space between your paragraphs. Boom, done. All right, parenthetical citation, citing sources. Okay. So here a we have a sentence. We have an introduction to a quote. Okay. So we have, as Baldwin states. Okay, I have no idea who Baldwin is, and I commented on this on a lot of people's papers. All right, you should provide a an introduction, some sort of clarity of who Baldwin is. All right. So here we have Sarah Baldwin, The Dark Side of Extreme Wealth, from the Watson Institute of International and Public Affairs. Okay. Maybe if we know who she is, it might be helpful. Is she a okay? So uh, is she a writer? If you know something. So two things. Okay, one, if you want to use their name in the sentence, all right, then you should include some sort of maybe statement about who this person is. Where is my paper that I was just working on with y'all. You should include some sort of like reference to who this person is in your paper. Sorry, I've completely lost my. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's not it either. So maybe if she's just a writer, okay, she's a journalist, she's a market journalist, she is a economic journalist. All right. Um, as economic journalist, Sarah Baldwin, as economic journalist Sarah Baldwin states, okay, extreme wealth fosters this connection from reality and erodes empathy. All right. So we've stated her name. Look, this is her name. Her name is in the sentence. Okay. Her name is in the sentence. So if we refer to the notes that I had published for y'all, okay. Okay. Every sentence that contains a quote must include an author's name, either in the sentence or in the citations, but not both. Redundant citations would be marked as errors. Okay. According to the film critic Annie Baldwin, a successful adaptation in film is, quote, keeping to the heart of the original story, blah, 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 blah. Quotation mark or parentheses, Baldwin 15. Okay. This is incorrect. Author's name is mentioned in this sentence and the parenthetical citation. Therefore, this is incorrect because the name should only appear once. All right. So this is correct. A successful adaptation of film is, quote, keeping to the heart of the original story, emphasizing the best features of the literary work, blah, 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 blah. Parentheses, Baldwin 15. This is correct because author's name is not mentioned in this sentence. Therefore, it is placed in the parenthetical citation. All right. Again, I discuss this here. Wordsworth stated that romantic poetry was marked by a, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, end quote. In the parentheses, I have a page number to a book in which that quote came from, but I don't have Wordsworth's name because I've already stated his name in the sentence. Or I could put his name in this, I could take his name out of the sentence and say romantic poetry is characterized by the, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, end quote. Parentheses, Wordsworth 263, because his name is not mentioned, but it can't be both. So here, it has to be out, okay? Now, the next thing that's problematic is here is that we have I guess this person's putting page 21, paragraph 2. We do not include paragraph numbers in MLA formatting. It's only the page number. I don't need to know the specific exact location of the quote. That's it, okay? 21. So Sarah Baldwin states, okay, as economic journalist, Sarah Baldwin states, extreme wealth fosters disconnection from reality and erodes empathy. This is the way that this sentence should be written. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the original. Okay, that's the original, and this is the reworked. Okay, I'm gonna make it larger just so that way we can just emphasize it. All right. Baldwin states extreme wealth fosters disconnection from reality and erodes empathy. Baldwin 21, paragraph 2. Okay, this is incorrect. Let's see, do we straight through? Yes. Okay. Instead, we have as economic journalist, Sarah Baldwin. Okay, so now we have some context to who Sarah Baldwin is. She's an economic journalist, states. And then we have this. It's just 21. It's not Baldwin. There's no paragraph. Okay. The only thing that should be in the parenthetical citation is an author's last name and a page number. If the author's last name is already mentioned, don't include it in the parenthetical citation. If there is no page number because this came from a website, then don't provide a page number. Okay. Like, I mean, I go here and it seems like it's a web page. Okay. So if it's a web page, if that is actually a web page, then this shouldn't even be here. It's not, there's not a page unless you found it in a book, whatever. But if it actually came from a web page, then there is no page number. In that case, and there's no parenthetical citation because her name's already stated. So it's just a period and quotation mark. Okay. Okay. Next. This reflects Karl Marx's argument that in a capitalist society, the elite are often protected from justice regardless of their actions. Now, unlike Baldwin, Sarah Baldwin, okay, Karl Marx is a well-known historical figure, okay? You might not know him, but you should, okay? So we don't need any context for Karl Marx. This is fine because he's a well-known historical figure and writer, okay? Which is fine. But that doesn't mean that this doesn't have problems, all right? Here's a problem right here. This reflects Karl Marx's argument that in a capitalist society, the elite are often protected from justice regardless of their actions. Good quote, okay? But when we look at the notes that I've uploaded, okay? In it, it talks about integrating quotes. And here we have punctuating, signal phrases, and quotes. When introducing a quote after a verb, there needs to be a comma after the verb, and then a capital letter of the first word in the quote, which is what this person did, earlier up here. We have Sarah Baldwin states. States is a verb. And then we have a comma, and then we have a capital letter. That's good. That's exactly right. Okay. But this is a different example. When introducing a quote with a non-verb, then there should not be a comma after the non-verb. And the first letter of the word in the quote should not be capitalized unless it's a proper name. Here we have film critic George Flicker, writing for the Hollywood Inquirer, discusses how, quote, the problem with Romeo and Juliet is that it ignores the fact that Shakespeare's play satirizes and blah, blah, blah. See how we have this how. This is discusses is the verb, but then we don't have a comma, we have how. So now we have no comma, and we have no capital letter. So here we have, this reflects Karl Marx's argument that, and then we have the quote. So yes, there's no comma here, which is good. Good. No comma. Okay, that's great. But because we do have uh, the problem here is that N was capitalized. N should not be capitalized. It should be lowercase. Okay. That capital I should be a lowercase I. Okay. And then we get down to the parenthetical citation. Marx. We've already stated Marx. That's Marx right there, Karl Marx. So we don't need Marx in this. And then I don't know if this is a page number or a year in which Marx said this. Let's see here. Hold on. When was Karl Marx alive? I mean, I'm pretty sure he was alive during 1844. But I mean, actually, it could be, yeah, he was born 1818, died 1883. So I assume that this is a that this is a year in which he said this. Okay. If this is the year that he said this, then we don't need that. We definitely don't need paragraph 22. Now, let's just say I'm wrong. And this is actually from a book that's over 1,800 pages. It's pretty thick, okay? And so it's actually a page number. Then we do need it, and we just don't. But we don't need the paragraph 22. Okay, so I guess that can stay. Now, but then I go down here though, and it says Karl Marx, Economic and Philosophic Manuscripts of 1844. So the citation tells me that 1844 is in fact a year, not a page number. We don't put years in parenthetical citations, so that needs to go away, which then this P right here must be for page. So instead, we'll just have 22, okay? If that P, if this is actually a web, let's see. Again, if this is an online edition that has no page numbers, and that this 22 is not a page, this 22 is a paragraph number, then you need to get rid of it. Okay. All right. So this was an error right here, and this was an error. Both of those are errors. Okay. So we got to make sure that we do those correctly. Okay, I'm gonna cross this one out. Straight through. Strike through. Okay. All right. Here we get to a website. We have a quote. As stated in What is Feminism? All right. This semicolon right here. I mean, this colon right here, it should be actually. I know it's a comma. Okay. It looks ugly. It's like multiple punctuation, but that's the correct thing to do. Okay. I don't care if it's underlined. Computer doesn't know anything. All right. So now we have this IW. Is this person's last name Awida? Maybe, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's from a different country or whatever, right? There's no author's name mentioned here, so that's good. It's a good sign. So let's go down and check out the works cited page. Iwata, what is feminism? Okay, what is this? Oh, it's right here. Oh, it's an organization called International Women's Development Agency. Is there a specific author on here? No, there is no author. So this is actually an authorless source. Okay, I don't like y'all using authorless sources, but whatever. Okay, this person did. So at least if you're going to do that, at least you need to do it correctly. All right. So with that, if you have a source that has no author, you do not. Then you leave that blank. You leave the author's name area blank because an organization is not the author. Okay, it got to be human. And then we just begin with the title of the article, and then we put in italics. International Women's International Women's Development Agency. Okay. And then we go back up. Okay. So what should appear in the parenthetical citation is what first appears down here, which is why, it's author's last name, author's last name. So then if there is no author's last name, it's the name of the article. Okay. Go back up here. And so in here, what should be in here is what is feminism, because that's the name of the article. But the title is already stated. So you got to make a decision. Either delete this and find a different way to introduce, okay, this quote, or or get rid of it, or let's see, make this larger so we can see it better. So you got to decide either to get rid of it in here, okay, and then you can keep it. If you get rid of this, as stated in, okay, instead you could do something like, which honestly, like, I don't know, I would, because having this comma is problematic here. All right, it's goofy, and so if you rewrite this sentence, with, okay, you say the purpose of feminism is to tackle the quote, you tackle the normalization of gender-based violence and objectification. Okay. So if you don't mention the title of the article in the sentence, it will flow better to then take it, to leave it here. All right. And then you also need to get rid of all of this, because 2022 0 is published. MLA formatting does not put years in which something was published. And then we don't do paragraphs. Even if that quote comes from paragraph 2, which technically this is paragraph 2, but it's not there. Okay. Get rid of that as well. So now instead of having this goofy question mark, comma, quotation mark, that's too much going on. We get rid of that. We put the title in the parenthetical citation. We have our quote. The purpose of feminism is to tackle the normalization of gender-based violence and objectification. Okay. And then with this title right here, I go down to my works cited page and I see it is right there. Okay. So that's how you do that one. Sources with no author's name, no actual human. The title goes in quotation marks. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. As stated in The Feminine Mystique, patriarchal structures condition women to prioritize male approval and safety. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, Smithsonian. So The Feminine Mystique is in italic, so it's a book. Okay. The powerful, complicated legacy of Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique, Smithsonian Magazine, Smithsonian. Okay. I'll first get rid of that because it's not an author. I'm just gonna copy it, see if I can find it online, and see if there is an author in a weird place. Okay, yep, here we go. Jacob Munez. That's the actual author of this. Go to the website. That's the title. Okay, so We need to copy this. All right. And then, so this should actually be Munez, not Smithsonian, Jacob, which then means that our in-text citation up here should actually be Munaz, and that's it, because it's a web-based source. We do not put the year in our parentheses, and we do not put paragraph numbers. So we get rid of that. As stated in the feminine mystique, the patriarchal structures condition women women to prioritize male approval and safety over their own desires and ambitions. Now, also, the next question is this quote actually from the feminine mystique? Because the way that this sentence is stated, it's as if it is. So that would need to be, fact checked. Okay, but I don't have time for that right now. All right, so this incorrect. Straight through. Okay. All right. Now, the only problem with this paper is that it doesn't follow the outline. It doesn't have a paragraph about a critical review of the film or about why this person wanted to write it. And that's a problem because down here, let's get this works cited page correct. All right, we have all this space for some reason. What is happening here? Okay. All right. So, this person used the space bar to center the title. I can tell because that's why I have to delete all the invisible space that was created when this person hit the space bar. If you are centering something, you need to go up here to the alignment and text alignment and click center. It does it automatically if the spacing isn't already whacked jobbed. Okay, well, maybe they had a problem with that, and now I'm having that same problem. All right, delete additional spaces. Look, couple of things. It needs to be in alphabetical order. B, E, W, M, M. What? Okay, so this needs to move down. All right. This was not used in the essay, so therefore it cannot exist. Either the person needs to find a quote by Roger Ebert and write that paragraph about the critic, or they need to get rid of it, and it shouldn't be here. Second off, look, the funky spacing is back. You are still held responsible to this. You would still need to go back in here, go to layout. Look, spacing before, for some reason it's back, and you got to fix it. That's what you got to do. You got to keep fixing. All right. And just because you do it once doesn't mean like, well, I did it once. I don't know why. Oh, well, you got to fix it. All right. And then we need to indent. This is correct, but this one is not. So I need to go to the end of the sentence and hit tab. Boom. Okay. Great. All right. I hope this was helpful. All right. These are things I covered. All right. So make sure that that I need to do I'll do later on a more specific lecture on works cited page again, because there's a lot of people who are not indenting correctly. They're still doing this. They're still indenting the first line of all of their citations. And it's like, oh, that is wrong. That was wrong in 1101. It's wrong in 1102. And so that's incorrect. It's not a traditional indent. It's a hanging indent. The first line is not indented, but the other lines are indented. So you gotta make sure that you get that correct, or you're gonna lose points every time. All right, I hope this was helpful for all of you, for the person who requested this personally, and for all of you who are making similar mistakes. Please watch this. I mean, I'm saying that right now. So obviously, if you heard me, you are watching it. So way to go. All right. See you later. Bye bye.